Yo, what's up guys, it's Suraj from Tech Devoted and welcome to the third episode of Camera Rig Showdown, a series where I feature your camera setups. If this is your first time watching this series or if you want to be featured in an upcoming episode, check out the first link in the description, it's got all the information you need. But without wasting any more time, let's get to it. Let's talk about the setups for today's episode. And our first submission comes from Advait, who is a photographer based in Bengaluru. The core of his setup is a Nikon D500, which, judging by the size of the sensor, looks like an APS-C camera, but I'm not too sure. I'm not very familiar with Nikon cameras. As for lenses, he has the Nikon 16-80 2.8 to 4 and a 35mm 1.8. Apart from that, he also has a crazy Tamron 18-400 f3.5 to 6.3, and I'm actually surprised at how small the lens looks. Maybe it's just the picture, or maybe when it's at the max focal length at 400mm, I'm guessing the barrel extends. But either way, that's one hell of a range. Must be pretty crazy to actually use it. Apart from that, he has a GoPro Hero 7 Black and a tripod from Benro for his stabilization needs. He also has two Amazon Basics polarizers. I'm guessing he has two for two different lenses, two different filter sizes. I'd like to make a suggestion. You probably already know about this, but if you don't, take a look at step-up rings. They basically allow you to use the same filter with different lenses of different filter sizes. Basically helps you have just one filter for all your lenses. Maybe check it out, I don't know, just a suggestion. And finally, he also has the popular lightsaber LED light thing, which he hasn't mentioned anything about, so I'm gonna guess it's from Godox or Neva. And yeah, overall I really like your setup. I also like the pictures you've shared, especially the landscape reflection shot of what looks like Bombay city. It cannot be Bengaluru, I mean, no way, come on. If it is, you have to take me there. But yeah, overall great setup, great pictures. Thank you for sharing it. If you guys want to follow Advait on Instagram or anybody else that's featured today, check out the links in the description. Alright, our next setup comes from Harsh Punjabi, who is a tech YouTuber based in Pune. Right off the bat, I absolutely love the image he shared. I follow Harsh on YouTube, and one of the things that he consistently does well is his flat lay images, and this one is no different. The core of his setup is a Canon M50. I think this might be the first setup with a Canon mirrorless camera in the series so far. As for lenses, he has the 15-45 kit lens, a 50mm 1.8 and a 55-200 zoom lens. I'm guessing he uses the 50mm and 55-200 using an adapter, because obviously those are EF lenses and the M50 is the EF M mount. But he hasn't really mentioned anything about the adapter, so I'm not very sure. He also has a set of mobile lenses from a company named Skyway. Haven't heard of that, I think I'm going to check it out. And he also has a Fiutech Vlog Pocket Gimbal to, stabilize his phone recording. He also has a little Manfrotto mini tripod, which I'm guessing he uses with the M50, and it should work pretty well because the M50 is a pretty light camera. To record audio, he uses a Zoom H1, and finally he also has an iPhone 5 that he says he uses its flashlight in the background sometimes. So overall, great setup, Harsh. Thank you for sharing it. I love how you have exactly what you need. It's extremely minimal and super clean, so thanks for sharing it. If you guys want to follow Harsh, check out the Instagram and YouTube links in the description below. Alright, our third and final setup comes from Kabir from Indore. He is a freelancer and a content creator who also works with the NGO. The core of his setup, well, he actually has two cameras. He says his primary camera is the Sony a7 III with the 20-70 3.5 to 5.6 kit lens and a 50mm 1.8. His secondary camera is the Canon 700D. I absolutely love that camera. It's actually been a while since I've heard that name. Anyway, for that he has the 18-55 kit lens, a 55-250 zoom and a 50mm 1.8. Finally, he also uses a speedlight flash gun, which is the 930TX from Simpex. Kabir is a 20-year-old photographer who wants to be a full-time filmmaker. He says he's not from a very well-financed family, so he had to work with what he had and start his business. And basically he started by doing free shoots. Then his parents noticed his dedication and bought him the Sony a7 III. He says he edits for an average of 6 hours a day and he absolutely loves his work. He also says he has a decent hand-on photography, clearly, as you can tell by the images, but he wants to do more and more of video, which is why he got the Sony. Kabir, man, I think you're already well on your way. You know exactly what you're doing. I think your work is great. I especially love the photograph of the moon, so keep at it. Thanks for sharing your setup, and I wish for the very best for you. Again, Kabir's Instagram along with everybody else's, as well as all the gear that was featured, will be linked in the description below. And yeah, that's about it for this one. If you guys enjoyed watching it, give it a like. If you did not, vote it down. If you want to be featured on the next episode of Camera Rig Showdown, again, check out the link in the description. It's been Suraj. Thanks so much for watching. Take it easy and stay devoted.
The system broken, the schools closed, the prisons open. We ain't got nothing to lose, motherfucker, we roll.